Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahilladzi hadana lihada wa ma kunna linahtadiya laula an hadanallah. Asyhadu an la ilaha illallah wa asyhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. Allahumma shalli ala Muhammad wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa man tabi'ahu bi ihsan ila yaumiddin, amma ba'du. Hello student, meet you again today. We continue in our topic about classification of variable in process control. We know we have a variable we have two types of variable that is famous. Firstly is input variable, and the second one is output variable. In input variable, there are two types variable in input variable. We call this the disturbance variable or load variable. Can brief it LV. And the second one is manipulated variable, or in another term, some people call the control variable. And we can note this by manipulated variable, MV, manipulated variable. In another side, we have output variable. In output variable, we have two types variable output. Firstly is measure variable, and the second is unmeasured variable. Okay, we know about this variable. This is control variable. This is control variable. But we have control variable. Control variable is input variable, but the control variable is variable that we control. What is this? Variable that we control usually is measured variable, or sometimes unmeasured variable. This is the control variable. Look at this difference: control variable and control variable. We're looking at an example in liquid tanks. In liquid tank, we have the system here, liquid tank, and then the output flow rate. We call this the input is Fi and the output is Fo. And then here we have H, the level of liquid, and the cross section of this tank, we call this the A. Okay, in this system, what is the objective of this system? The objective of this system. The objective, we can call this, the objective is H level of liquid. We do not want this tank is overflow. So we want the level of liquid in this tank in the desired value. In desired value, we call this HD. So this is the control variable. The control variable. Or we brief in CV. CV. Okay, we have three types the variable here. CV, the control variable, and then manipulated variable is an input variable, and then load variable is the input variable type. We have three type variable here, three terms. Okay, here we have the HD, the level of liquid, as the control variable. So we identified what we have in variable here. Input variable. What is the input variable? Fi, might be Fi, okay. And then the output variable. Output variable. The output variable is Fo and H. Yes. Okay, H, the level of liquid in the tank. That is the output variable. Here we take the H as the control variable. Okay. So we have to identify what is the manipulated variable. We can classify two variable in control variable and manipulated variable. What is the control variable in the system? Is H, the level of liquid in the tank. We want to control this variable. And how we can maintain the level of liquid in variable? How we can maintain this variable? Maybe we adjust the variable Fi. Yes, we can adjust variable Fi to maintain the H. We can adjust variable Fi, or maybe we can adjust the variable output. By adjusting this variable output, we can maintain the H, the level of liquid in this tank. So I can call this, we have Fo as manipulated variable. Okay, we have two alternative variable as manipulated variable. We can maintain the Fi, or we can maintain the Fo. I suppose you to use the Fo as manipulated variable in the control consideration here. Firstly, we have to measure the output variable. What is the output variable? The age, the level. To measure this, we use the sensor, maybe a sensor. From the sensor, we get the age level, and we compare this to desired value, the value that we want for its level. If we sign this the positive and this is the negative, the comparator will result the error, okay? And we have the formula for error is ht minus h. And then the error goes to the controller. Okay? And from the controller, we'll adjust the final element in the controller. It can be the control valve for FO. So this is the control configuration that we have. The control configuration is like this. The sensor, we decide the sensor to read the H level of the liquid, and then we compare this to the HT, the desired value of the liquid level, and then result the error here, and then the error will be maintained in controller. In controller, the output of controller will adjust the variable of FO. That is the configuration we choose for control the liquid tank system. Okay, look at the FO. That is the manipulated variable in this configuration control. That is the manipulated variable. So we can see this. This is the output variable or input variable, FO. Before we to find that the FO is output variable, so to the H, the level liquid. But when we make the configuration of controller like this, and we choose the FO as manipulated variable here, then we manipulate it by the control valve by controller. So the FO is not output variable in the control statement here, in the control configuration this. The FO is input variable. So the FO is input variable because we choose this as manipulated variable. We choose this as manipulated variable. You can see this before. The manipulated variable is input variable or output variable. Manipulated variable is the input variable in classification of variable in process control. We know this. Control variable or manipulated variable is the input variable. So we can say this, the FO as manipulated variable is the input variable, not output variable in this control configuration that we choose. Okay? Okay, we have another example here. is heating tank, liquid heating tank. Okay. Oh my god. Okay, we have another example here for liquid heating tank system. We have liquid heating tank system. The input must be Fi and Ti. In here we have the coil as heating element, and the output stream must be F and T, and this is the flow rate of steam. Okay, this is the heating tank. Heating tank. Okay, we identified in this system. We have a variable. We have H and A. Okay. Oh no, we have H and temperature here. Temperature in the liquid. We identified the input variable. What is the input variable? Input. Which variable input? Fi. It must be Fi. Then Ti. Okay. Then flow rate of steam. Flow rate of steam. Fs. Okay. We have Fs. That is the input variable. How about F? This variable is input or output. We can see this might be input. Consider to the example before. Okay, you know this. And the output variable. What the output variable? We have, it must be F and T, temperature of liquid, and then H, the level of liquid. Okay. What is the objective of the system? Objective. What our objective? Usually the objective is T, temperature of liquid in desired temperature, and the level of liquid in desired of level. Okay. We classified our variable into two classification. MV, that is the manipulated variable, and CV, that is the control variable. What is the control variable? The control variable T and H, temperature of liquid and the level of liquid. We can see this, the temperature and the level of liquid. That is the control variable. Which the variable as manipulated variable? Which variable as manipulated variable? Fe, Fti, flow rate of steam, or flow rate output from the system. We have question here. How we maintain the temperature? Which variable that have a big impact to the temperature of liquid, it must be fluid of steam. So we can see that FST, or fluid of steam. How about the H level of liquid? How we can maintain the H level of liquid? How we can maintain? It can be fluid output, or it can be fluid input. So the manipulated variables candidate, it can be F or Fi. We can see that if F as manipulated variable, if S we choose F variable as manipulated variable, so the F is input variable. F is input variable. But when we choose the Fi as manipulated variable, so the F is output variable, not input. Okay. In here, we will choose the manipulated variable is Fi and Ti. That is the manipulated variable. In this control strategy. Okay, we have choose the Fi and Ti as manipulated variable, and we know that the T and H as control variable. Okay, that is the control variable. How about load variable? Load variable, it must be input variable. Load variable, it must be input variable. Oh, excuse me. That is a mistake. The manipulated variable is not Fi and Ti, but Fi and FST. Fluid of steam. That is the fluid of steam. Okay, we refer here fluid of steam and Fs. We choose this variable as manipulated variable. So the another variable input is Ti. So what is the load variable? Load variable is input variable. The load variable is input variable. So in this system, with the input variable, that is input variable. Why not F? When we choose Fi as manipulated variable, the F is not input variable. This is not input variable. This is output variable. So the load variable, it must be temperature of input. That is the load variable. So we have three variable here, three classified variable here. Manipulated variable, control variable, and load variable. How about F? Maybe it can be measured variable or unmeasured variable. When measure this is the measured variable. When we do not measure this variable, so this is unmeasured variable. Okay, that is the classification of our variable in this system. Okay, student, thank you very much for attention. We will continue again in another topic in next week. Thank you very much. That's all. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.